Howdy toddy, God almighty. This is the Triple Option Podcast, coming to you from Cigar City Studios in a rainy Ybor City. Some of y'all heard that ghetto opening on audio. Maybe I'll fix it in post. Maybe I won't. Some of y'all are watching us on Facebook or YouTube. We're going to start doing video. We want to make this, look, full transparency. We want to get this show sold to Facebook's buying content. YouTube's buying content. All these other things are buying content. Mike and Mike in the Morning are a real show on ESPN that a lot of people watch. I don't get it. They don't even like it. They just watch it. So what we were thinking this year is we just like everybody's got a mission. Everybody's got a focus as a football team for the season. You know, we're all. I'm going to introduce y'all. I see you pointing.
Oh, that's not what I was
saying. Steve wants some attention, man. It's been a while.
So that voice you heard is Mr. Sweetums himself, Chad Sweeting.
Good to be back.
And sitting in the middle seat, middle hole, number
middle.
That's his new nickname, I think.
Damn, number 11 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts. Give it up for Steve Fantetti.
Congratulations to the money team. Big win last night.
Yeah. We're doing this Sunday mornings. We're going to try to do this every Sunday morning to give you fresh college football.
Garden fresh.
Steaming hot fresh.
Fresh analysis.
In your ear holes.
These guys get up early. Me, not so much. I'm going to have to work on that. But
you were today, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, you have kids. It's kind of like, well, your sleep's fucked already. So what are you going to do? If you want to listen to us, tell a friend about us. Tell them to download the Laughable app. Tag me, Law Smith. You can tag comedians on there. But you can listen to us on iTunes, Podbase, Stitcher, whatever. Your mom's radio, whatever, ham radio. You can listen. We're on everything that podcasts are on, except for SoundCloud. Because
go on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating, because we will be having benefits about that soon if you do rate.
And SoundCloud shut down, so no more of that.
More SoundCloud.
Yeah, went the way of CISO.
Yeah.
So, anything else before I get going?
Let's jump into it.
Yeah,
man.
jump into it.
Ready. The season started. Games were on yesterday.
Well, we wanted to haze Chad a bit.
We did about Criminal U, Criminal University. They changed the name of University of Florida to Criminal U. I didn't know this happened.
Really, you're gonna make me defend my alma mater.
More investigations. Yeah. Like more people got arrested on Friday for drug possession. I think one of the defensive backs did. Jackson did, and a couple of people. Why does this keep going on at Florida? That's what we wanted to ask you. We'll start the pod with it. I don't know why we're starting the pod with this, but
man, what is this gotcha journalism?
No,
what is this?
Well, this is not fake news. This happened. We just want to know if you can explain, because you're a Florida alum. Why all this trouble happening at Florida? Usually Miami was known for that.
People,
no offense to Miami people.
Kids like the weed, man. What can I say?
I mean, it's more, and they like using their cards to buy stuff. And
so do you know the full story on that?
The full story on that.
Full story on that. They misuse of scholarship funds. So they didn't like steal credit cards or anything. They're credit cards that they were given by the university. They bought electronics. They resold it. They should have done that. Misuse. It's a knucklehead mistake, but it's not like they're out there, you know.
The other conspiracy behind this, which isn't the one I'm going to talk about, but is that they are getting money from the University of Michigan on the side to throw the game so they wouldn't play in that game.
Oh, that's definitely true.
They had to find a reason not to play in the game, and that was what they just made up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 100% true.
That makes sense.
I've heard that too.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But that's not the conspiracy theory we're talking about.
Was there another? There's another arrest. We were just looking at this off air right before we started.
Yeah, that's the one I was telling you about.
This is the new one, right?
James Robinson, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I know about.
Well, we have to put.
I can't keep up with them all.
Yeah, we have to put it in context for the listener.
It's two of it.
Daniel McMillan,
sexual assault. Antonio Callaway, who's our best player. We're talking about Florida, by the way. Did we even mention that?
Wait, I went to Gators. I said your Florida line. I prefaced it all.
So
it's all allegedly too, by the way.
Antonio Callaway is our best player, obviously, and he's a knucklehead. He suspended for the first game for not only in that credit card thing, but also he was arrested with weed. So.
Let's just keep it really simple. He's been in trouble every single year.
Yep.
Or season that he's been at Florida.
Yep.
And yet he only gets 1 game suspension. He's not really teaching him any lessons. But that's beyond me. If I ever got in trouble, I'd want Jim McElwain to discipline me because I get off easy.
The swamp donkey.
That sounds kind of kinky, man. You want him to discipline you, huh?
I just wanted those guys out of the Tennessee game, but I know you can't get everything you want.
10% of our squad is suspended for the first game.
True.
So
but speaking of the Tennessee game, we will be there.
Yeah, we will.
Anyways,
Nice.
That's a hard.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very awkward.
We did it though.
That was good. Okay.
Where did you want to go from here, Chad?
Yes.
You had a rundown.
Yeah.
We should have looked at it before we started.
No, that's okay. Briefly, y'all want to talk about? We'll do it like we did last year. Briefly talk about yesterday's games. I'll be honest, I didn't watch them too closely.
I did,
and Steve did. So maybe Steve's
chilling.
Quick. I'm
yesterday.
thinking like 1 minute because no one really cares about these games that much.
I literally would not go over a minute if we could help it.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to watch them.
I'll tell you this though. The Portland State BYU game was the best game yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm glad USF won for all the locals, but I was impressed.
How did Quinten Flowers do in USF game?
Oh, he did fine. They just started really slow, but
Okay.
he threw a couple touchdowns. He had a couple hundred yards in the air. He did great. But, I mean, they started slow. But, I mean, it's a new coach. It's a new, staff for the most part. They kind of got to get used to it. It's the first time you're not playing against your own people. So, it takes a little bit of time. I remember when I was playing, when you're in spring ball and when you're playing in early camp, you're just going against your own teammates. So it's so different to go across the line against somebody else where you're not going to see the same moves or the same coverages. So, it takes a little bit. So I wouldn't blame USF for the slow start. They look fine. They ended up winning. I think it was 42-22 was the final score. They did fine.
Yeah. What else do we have? We have Stanford and Rice.
Yeah.
Right?
Stanford won 42-7 or something like that.
I was watching it, and one of the color guys announcing it was like, they're trying to do like a field piece on the Rice quarterback, and it's like all he ever wanted to be was a Division I quarterback
at Rice.
And when he became the starter at Rice, he cried so much.
Oh my God.
He cried a lot. Like
I heard about that.
He cried to his mom and dad. This went on for like 45 seconds, like of airtime, which feels like
poor
an
guy.
hour. Yeah, I was like, dude, you just made this way worse on this guy. He was like, that's his dream, and you made him turn into like a big sensitive, crybaby. So
Cried his mommy and daddy.
I thought it was pretty funny. That was the only thing of notice I wrote down from yesterday because there's.
That's a great note, Law.
Why would you even have these games going on? I don't get it. Like I don't
to get the extra attention, obviously, because they don't get a lot of
really
attention.
worked. Like,
yeah,
I think everyone's like, "What? Oh shit!" I think it just
football's
puts
here.
everybody's schedule off.
Yeah, but they want to start football as soon as they can. I mean, ESPN can only have people talking about football for so long. Like they have all these pregame shows and analysis. They kind of want to just get some games.
I know,
out there.
but we see it on the other end with the bowl games where they try to wedge one in between the good ones.
True.
They're like, "Oh, Papa John's Bowl is going to be right between the Fiesta Bowl and the national championship," and you're like, "What?"
Can we talk about real quick what they renamed the St. Pete?
They
bowl?
renamed it.
They renamed it.
I didn't even know.
Oh, breaking news here!
Is it called the Fantetti Legal Bowl?
Oh my
You guys
god!
are gonna love this shit.
You have like legal amount of.
Oh, these
Do you
are a
really-
couple notes.
Oh my god!
That's commitment.
So-
Don't
You
hate.
you lawyers love being verbose.
So no, you're gonna love this. Okay, this is not a joke. Okay, the St. Petersburg Bowl is now called the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl. That's not a joke.
I love it.
The Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla
I wish I
Bowl.
loved it. I don't.
I love it too.
You guys are so horrible.
I love it because it makes me think of Bad Boy Records.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
That's what
Yeah,
everybody's
the
gonna think
bottles
of.
as the picture for the bowl game. Bad Boy.
Bad Boy Mowers. So shout out to Bad Boy Mowers.
So they're-
you can be
they're-
a sponsor if you want.
They're trying to call it. They're trying to give it a name, the Gasparilla Bowl, and then they're like, "We
didn't have
got to
enough
add our
funding.
company
They had to
on
add
the,
somebody
on the
else.
beginning of this thing." So
The Bad Boy Mowers.
Oh, I love
interesting,
Love that.
interesting. Yeah. Well, it's there's too many games, and it's just like they're not gonna cut them. They're
money
so
makers.
greedy. But it's like, why don't we just find stadiums that are just smaller so it makes it a better atmosphere? Go to a high school stadium for that game. There's no point in going to the Trop.
Yeah,
I'll be going.
No one wants to be the trap. So I wanted to ask you guys real quick about going back to that USF game. What do we think about Quinten Flowers? The hot take that he has an outside chance of being a Heisman candidate.
No shot.
I
shot?
think he
No
definitely
shot.
does.
No
Yeah?
shot.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Hey,
Why
All right.
do you think no
you
shot?
go first, and then
You're the
I will
Stephen A.
tell
Smith
you why.
of
Yeah,
this?
exactly.
Oh man, that makes me the other guy.
Scott Kellerman.
No, the white dude.
Skip
from,
Bayless.
Oh,
Yeah.
Skip Bayless is gone. Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah,
He's
he
out?
went to
Usually
Fox.
Bayless is the hater though. Dude, that was like a year and a half ago. Where have
Dude,
you been?
I stopped watching all those shows. Like,
Clearly,
Yeah,
it's all good.
Probably
why?
better for it.
It does. Yeah,
He's
it
got like
doesn't do
4
any-
kids on the way. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Busy
doesn't-
man.
It doesn't do anything. We'll put him to work. So,
So this is a good debate because I'm going to tell you why he doesn't have a shot.
You go first.
No.
All right.
Listen,
All right.
Home field advantage for you.
He's top 5 in all. I've been doing my fantasy research. We have
you
our
go.
top 25. We'll tease that out. We'll do that in a little bit. But I have my top 25 college football fantasy draft tonight.
Awesome.
And everything I read on there's not to be able to do the research. You have to really do it on your own because there's only all right. So if you're doing pros, there's all these cheat sheets and all these
Right.
top 250. But this game doesn't exist in other it's either you have the whole field of college football as a fantasy team, so it's like 120 plus teams or whatever. But he's still in the top 5 of everything I looked on. So there's that point.
Okay.
The other point I think is
So stats, good stats.
he's going to have really good stats, and he's just a badass athlete. Plus, I think it's a little bit more wide open. You don't have to be at the big program to get invited to New York. Like I think you. Okay, well, I think Lamar Jackson last year kind of. I know Louisville's not a small school, but it's not the big program. I think it can kind of create. It is and it isn't.
It's been big time since Petrino was there, man.
But USF, you can make a case. They were number 2 at one point.
It's okay.
Like 10 years ago.
This is your turf. I'll shut up. Keep going.
No, I'm running out of steam.
Okay, good. Because
Steve's
I'm going
turn.
to tell you why, and I've been talking to people about this too. Is that 2017 in college football is the year of the quarterback, and I'm going to tell you why in a few seconds. There are so
did an ESPN producer say that to you?
I'm telling you this because
hey, we're going to mark.
I'm
the
researching this. Look, I'm gonna back this up with tangible evidence since you're hating.
Tangible.
There is literally probably 15 to 20 legit quarterbacks right now that can play in the NFL. They're gonna be playing this year. Right now, that could probably come out after this season. Okay. And the reason why there is so many other quarterbacks ahead of Quinten Flowers, I'm not saying he's bad, and you're right about him being an athlete and he's going to have good stats. That's great. But he's going to be overshadowed by these people playing better competition. I mean, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, USC, who I don't think is that good. But Baker Mayfield, Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State, Will Grier at West Virginia, Jake Browning in Washington, Josh Rosen, UCLA. I've already surpassed Quinten Flowers. I can keep going if you want me to because there's a lot more.
We weren't talking about pro
JT Barrett, Ohio State. No, I'm just telling you all these quarterbacks are better than Flowers overall, and we'll get the Heisman look first. That's why I'm telling you he has no shot.
I think
Jalen Hurts they're going to look at Jalen Hurts, who's the same type of quarterback as Flowers, and Jalen Hurts will get the nod for an invite.
But this is part of a larger conversation, though. We're having a preseason Heisman watch conversation right now.
That's true. But look at all these quarterbacks. Like I can keep going. There's so many more. Like.
Who's your pick then, Steve, for Heisman preseason?
Already
Heisman?
Preseason Heisman.
Yeah, it's
if
never
I
too
had
early.
to pick one right now, I'd probably stick with. I'm gonna say Baker Mayfield right now. You know they have a new coach. I don't care. That's early.
We got to get a mix.
No one's played a game yet.
This year.
No one's played a game yet. The way he touches the ball. And how he gets all of his players involved. Now, missing Joe Mixon, a couple other good players, offense, Sanjay Perine, those guys are gone. They're going to have to reload at running back. But that's my early pick. Now, you could say Jalen Hurts is up there. I mean, they're going to be fine. Alabama, they always reload. Bo Scarborough's back. But, you know, that's my pick right now. But it's so early. It's going to change in 2 weeks once I see a couple people playing. John Kelly, Tennessee running back's my real pick. You really want to know?
Yeah, of course.
My boy.
No, you're not biased at all.
Not
so
at all.
You don't think Baker Mayfield's gonna get intoxicated and
he already did. He already did. He's able to play. And listen, he'll get no more trouble than any Florida Gator player, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Keep it going. By the way, though, Lamar Jackson, who won the Heisman, although they will never let a player win be a 2-time winner ever again. Archie Griffin just got lucky, but that should really be your favorite because they haven't lost a step. On offense.
Sure.
Yeah.
In terms of draft picks, they only
I
lost
agree.
one player.
The voters are biased against repeat winners.
They won't let it happen.
That's why Tebow didn't win it 2 years in a row.
Allegedly, that's why.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's fair. You're not wrong. There's literally no reason why he couldn't. That's the same reason why there won't be a 2-time Heisman winner. It's the same reason why LeBron James doesn't win MVP every year. He is the best player in the NBA, should win every year. They just don't want to give it to the same person every year. It's just that simple.
Well, who's your pick?
Not Lamar Jackson, I guess.
Okay. And you hit the field.
Yeah.
I'll take Lamar. You take the field. But I know Lamar ain't going to win.
It's like craps. I'll take the field. I'll say, man, it was tough. I was trying to think about it. You know, I'm going to say a name, then you guys are going to not like it.
Too late.
Let me get my soundboard up here.
I like Guice out of LSU.
Okay.
Oh, it's a great pick. What's wrong with that?
A lot of people, I don't know. I don't see him high on a lot of people's lists.
Mike Weber will be up there. Get him in your fantasy.
I like Mike Weber. That was a good pick last year. So I like Guice. I don't know why.
It's a dark horse.
There's no reason not to.
Well, he was overshadowed by Fournette last year, obviously.
And he was back this year.
He was also stopped 2 times on the goal line by my Gators. So other than that, though, he's great. No, he is. Some are saying he's getting even better than Fournette. So that I think that's a decent pick.
I don't know about that.
He's a speed rusher. He's not really one of power.
He's not going to take the year off like Fournette did.
Right.
You know?
A clowny year.
Yeah,
we started to coin that on this podcast.
Want to get paid.
It continues.
So I think Coach O's going to play to his strengths, his best he can. So
yeah, Coach O.
Oh, coach.
Don't make him
Alright,
your assistant
so-
coach. He will take your job.
Hey,
So
gotta get-
one name y'all haven't mentioned yet, well, maybe Steve mentioned
I might
it briefly, is Sam Darnold. I think
Overrated.
that's probably going to be
overrated.
Overrated,
Overrated.
man.
I'll stand by that right now. Not. Yeah, I
You
haven't
watched
seen
that,
enough.
That Penn State game?
Yeah, I haven't seen enough.
Really?
Listen, I had one good game once. I mean, everybody has a good game.
No, you never had a
But you need to
Yeah.
have hateful.
And Madden.
You need. That's true. I've
On
had plenty
easy
of games
mode.
in Madden, but I need to see more. That's all. The Penn
Yeah.
State game was great. Both teams played well. Defenses were terrible in that game. It's the reason why the quarterbacks look good. But I need to see another year from him, and I have no problem. Everyone thinks he's on many preseason All-American teams as the first team quarterback out of all the quarterbacks. Out of Lamar Jackson.
Well, you know why?
Jalen Hurts.
You know what? They love drama. They had 5 comeback
They
wins
do.
last year.
They do.
They're
So
TNT.
they love that.
And it's good, but I'm just telling you that I need to see more before I'm sold. So many people are telling me like he's the best, he's the number 1 pro prospect. He's not. But and listen, that's just my take, and I want to see more before I'm gonna commit to
Yeah.
someone saying that they're that good. But I'm glad you raised that. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
how I mean, I said it earlier when I was naming the quarterback.
So we're on record.
Are we in the conspiracy corner yet? Or are we not there yet?
Oh, let's see.
Am I
Okay,
ruined-
so
I don't know if you guys are ready for it.
I'm ready for. I'm always ready for some conspiracy. So
this-
this season we're gonna try to do a weekly segment because it's so popular last year called.
Yeah, we did a couple.
Yeah,
It didn't work out. It was really a conspiracy theory.
Steve
is
wants
known.
to be the tinfoil hat kind of
Yeah,
college football fan.
I've got sources deep in the Kremlin, like
Yeah.
deeper than Trump's sources. I mean,
So-
these are really good sources.
So here's the theme song for Steve's conspiracy corner. That's what we're calling it.
Although we didn't create this song, someone else owns the rights. I'm assuming. So listen,
Yeah, we could get kicked off YouTube.
This-
7 seconds.
Who
Give you 7
knows?
seconds.
this is
Yeah.
something people don't want to know that I'm going to tell them. Listen, there's always a conspiracy in college football. There just happens to be one that happened right before the season started.
Okay.
People were asking me, Steve, on Twitter, they're hitting me up. Why did Hugh Freeze leave Ole Miss? Really?
Calling a
why?
bunch of hookers.
Well, allegedly, right?
So
So
it's not alleged. It's like in the call log.
what I've heard in this conspiracy is he was about to get fired if they didn't at least, make it to the Final Four bowl games this year. So the college football playoff. Now he didn't want to get fired to hurt him for his next job. Allegedly, he was covering for a player who was with the hookers. Allegedly, of course. He took the fall for it so he wouldn't get fired, took a leave. He's going to take the job of Buddy Stevens at Next Chance U, Eastern Mississippi, that community college. He's got many players from Last Chance U. So he can build up his own program now, build up his own esteem, and when he's ready to leave, take all those good players that he got from the junior college and go to his next job, wherever he'll get, which I think is going to be Texas A&M when Kevin Sumlin gets fired.
Fired?
And that is the way that is.
Whoa.
Listen, just-
No,
listen,
somebody might get fired.
I'm
That's
just
true.
telling you, and this is the whole thing. This was a plan by Hugh Freeze from the beginning to avoid being
mastermind.
fired, to keep his esteem. He covered for one of his players. Players know he's
So-
a player's coach because players were calling these prostitution places. And he's like, look, Buddy Stevens going to leave that junior college at Last Chance U. If you don't watch Last Chance U, you won't get any of this conspiracy theory. But I'm just telling you, this is where he wants to go. He's going to recruit
people
players.
know-
Chad Kelly's come from there. A lot of guys came from Last Chance U that went to Ole Miss.
People know of the Netflix
Yes.
documentary series. They may not know by name, but they might know that that's like purgatory for a
Correct.
lot of
Yeah.
like talented people that a head coach leaves and you kind of don't know what to do. You're like a
Players
top
get in
recruit,
trouble.
and
Yeah,
coaches
like
change. and
Callaway's probably headed there, and Toto Callaway's probably headed there.
they
Now
change
let's go to the league.
they change systems on you, and
Yes.
you go, okay, well, I'm gonna just go over here or you most of the guys fuck up somewhere.
Yes.
Get arrested. A bunch of UF guys definitely will
Yeah,
be there
probably.
at some point, and
They'll win our national title at the junior college. My thing is this: you haven't heard anything. Like once it happened, have you guys heard any follow up
you
in the
think
news
he's that-
about
wait.
Hugh Freeze?
you think he's
I've
that
heard
big
nothing.
of a martyr to go like, I'm gonna take this
Listen,
on the
Well,
chin?
that'll only make
Okay.
players love him even
I'm gonna
more
take the
and want to play for
humility-
him. Listen, I'm just
So-
pointing out the conspiracy theory that I've heard.
Two things I want to mention. Okay,
Go ahead,
one,
please do.
so you're saying he fabricated these call logs that people were getting in
I said
public
he
records
was
requests
covering
that had,
covering for a player.
but it's his cell phone.
they were players were using.
Players are using his cell phone.
Listen, I'm just
to
listen,
call.
Don't
At
shoot the
1
messenger.
a.m.
Don't shoot the
I
messenger.
love that part. I love
Don't
that
shoot
part.
the message. All because listen, man.
and
this
they
is all
can
from the
text like a
Kremlin.
guy who doesn't know how to text.
He has no hands either. No,
right.
I'm just telling. Don't shoot the messenger. This stuff.
And the second thing, okay,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
he's not quite a martyr
Please do.
because my sources deep within the Kremlin tell me that he was talking trash and saying that, it was all the former coaches, all these NCAA sanctions that were coming down. He was blaming it on who's former coach?
Houston Nutt,
yeah.
Who they settled with. And
right.
They thought, look, we can't pay you.
Defamation lawsuit, which is great.
They settled.
They settled. He got some money out of that.
So all this is probably connected. I'm just letting you guys know the real deal because it's my job to tell the people these things when I know them.
I'm going to get you a tinfoil hat.
Yeah. I'll wear it.
We're doing
I should
video.
start wearing it when we do this. When you play the music, as soon as you cue it up, I'll be ready to go because I have lots of these. Next time I have one, I will give Chad
put
notice.
It on that hat rack behind you.
I may keep it there. I may have one every week. I may not. As these stories come to me, I promise you I will share them with you.
No, I want you to have one every week.
All right, I will plan to.
You're going to be grasping at straws like week 8.
No, I won't. There's no grasping when all this is legit information.
Yeah.
Allegedly, of course.
You can repurpose an old conspiracy. I'm good with that, too.
Okay, well, I'll try not to. But that's the one for this week. So
I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
Well done.
I promised I would deliver. I hope I did.
You did. You definitely delivered. That was definitely good fodder.
Got to make some Last Chance U in there, too.
All right. By
the way, if you haven't seen Season 2, not that I'm plugging them, go see Season 2 Last Chance. It's really good.
Before we get into previewing this upcoming week, I'll go through the top 25 fantasy league rules real quick.
Should we go through the top 25 rankings at all, though, too?
Well, no, we can. It's just
got to take forever.
It's going to eat up a lot of time, and it's going to drown everybody out that's listening to this.
You can read them when you go out there.
Yeah, people, if you wanted to read them, you read them, already. Most people that are listening to this are college football fans. They probably already looked at it. But I would say we can go over who should and shouldn't be on there in a second. But
we can talk about a couple later.
So this is how you do the league. And if you listen to this, you can start a week behind probably because it's going to be hard to kind of – you got to get 8 people total.
But people can start their own leagues doing what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
We do
people think that this is like on a computer. It's not. You've got this.
We do it via email the last 10 years or something crazy like that. You need 7 or 8 guys. It works out about 8 maxes you out on talent pool. 7's pretty good. 6 might be not enough, but still good. So the way it works is just like pro fantasy football, except – you can only draft guys in the top 25. So the first draft is really tough because you have an adjusted score essentially on their schedule. So if you want some guys that are in the 15 to 25 range, but they got a tough schedule in the first couple of games.
You're risking drafting players that won't be available week 2 or 3.
Exactly. So it's like I'm trying to think of who's like you like someone on West Virginia, they're 23, but they could easily drop out. Yep. You lose that player once they drop out. So it's happened before, like I'm trying to think of like, I'm trying to think of a big fall the first 2 games. I remember Auburn when I was at Auburn, like 04, I think or 03, not the Brandon Jacobs year. We started out like number 2 or something like that and lost the first 2 games.
Those were the post-Tuberville years, or was he still?
That was a Tuberville year.
Jason Campbell.
Well, yeah. You talk about Texas A&M last year. They fell from grace. They were like number 5
They started like in the
something?
top 10. I know that.
Yeah.
And they were
or
gone.
like Michigan in 07 losing to Appalachian State and they get knocked all the way down.
Yeah.
So it's that thing of like you have to figure out the teams and how good they're going to be and whether they're going to stay. So like Alabama is always going to stay in the top 25 pretty much.
Right.
Like
so Bo Scarborough is going to be like up there.
Well, he's going to be sharing time. So it's kind of like, what do you do? And like Calvin Ridley, you want to get, but you're like, well, they don't really pass that much.
No.
So while he's a badass NFL prospect, he might not get the rock. Like Julio Jones didn't get
Julio.
That's what I meant. Didn't get the. I had a conversation about Julio. My wife had a story about that and playing in my brain.
Cool story, bro.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is. Look, you want me punchy in the mornings now. This is what's going to happen.
He needs a scotch. Somebody help my boy out over here.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to be drinking on these Sunday mornings.
Keep it moving.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do one of them.
So,
my cheap-ass app with these sound effects is now broken.
So,
awesome.
So you do 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receiver, 1 defense, and we do a kicker, which I disagree with, but that's the way the league, I came into it late. Everybody else.
Now, do you disagree with kickers just in general?
Yes.
Are you like anti-kicker?
No,
so like, are you in these
fantasy
marches in Charlottesville, like saying kickers aren't allowed to have rights?
I'm against.
Edit that
I'm
out.
against those guys. Yeah,
kickers are people too, man.
They're white supremacists. So I would say, fantasy purposes, I don't like them because you want to root for the people you draft, right? So it's like, why would I want to root for a kicker? And if you look at the stats year over year, They're the most volatile position. So
do you want to waste a pick on that too?
Right.
Like you could be taking a whole
I
another
always
receiver.
take it last. Yeah.
I mean, Switzer's gone. Unfortunately, that's a good boy in the slot to have.
Sure.
Dallas Cowboys got him now.
But so you do that, and then every week you do a waiver wire and pick up. So you do like a mini draft every week, which is kind of fun too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Of the new teams that come in, or the players that didn't get drafted, or someone gets hurt, you pick them up on the waiver wire. But we all do this through email. I've wanted to try to automate this.
Really?
Yeah.
So someone sits down with pen and paper and writes the stats
You
down.
get
Or
Excel
what?
chart. It's pretty easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they don't have like an online. They don't have like Yahoo or ESPN that does it online and automates
No,
it.
I kicked around the idea of trying to work with the guys who created the game and like see if we could try to figure it out to sell it to Yahoo, but it was just like you have to be able to pull the stats in like API wise, which isn't hard, but it's that thing of like NCAA gambling rules are wacky. Like FanDuel and DraftKings don't do college anymore.
Yeah.
But they're allowed to. So it's weird.
Just
like
trying to avoid it, yeah.
And so everybody else just stopped doing it too, because Disney, I think, owns
ESPN.
DraftKings.
Oh, and I don't know. They probably do.
I think they have a big percentage of that.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of dictate whether that's going to be fantasy talked about or not. So that's your conspiracy right there. You need to look into that shit.
No,
Yeah,
mine,
Disney.
Mine was better.
No, just next week. So
I will look into that.
The disembodied head of Walt Disney is running everything's behind the scenes.
So
maybe?
who's
I
your
heard
top?
that's true.
Off the cuff, who's your top 5 in the top 25?
I'll be ready.
I've got the 5th pick.
Okay. Well, you
tonight.
go.
Oh, you like if we're doing
I don't know yet.
college.
You want players or teams?
Players.
Top 5 players. That's easy.
So I've got a cheat sheet, but I still got to work on it today. It's an Excel chart because I'm cool. You want to know about VLOOKUP formulas? Yeah. Oh yeah, guys. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
That's from my Excel. People.
Not what I was about to say.
All right, well, I'll go. You want to go top 5 real quick?
you go,
Because
you go.
since I think you have the advantage here because you do this, but
Well, I'm pulling it up.
I mean, obviously, off the top of my head, I would say Lamar Miller because he was a monster, especially
Jackson?
the first. Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
There you go.
What did I say?
Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller. Yeah, this
guy's doing
fantasy
NFL
football. I
fantasy.
had a
it's all
fantasy
you've been
football
doing.
draft last night, so Lamar Miller on my mind. But yeah, Lamar Jackson, obviously, because he had
dual threat.
51 total TDs last year. So that would that's obviously my first one probably.
Yep.
I don't know how this is weighted, but I don't know if there's like a ton of QBs. Does everyone draft QBs or?
It's just
You want
like
dual
pro.
threat though.
Yeah, it's just like pro too.
Yeah.
So it's like someone will take a QB and then there's a run of QBs.
I'll make it
Okay.
easy
Yeah,
on you
like-
guys. For anybody out there who wants to do this fancy thing, listen right now. Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson,
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley,
Yes.
John Kelly, Mike Weber, Bo Scarborough. Guys that will touch the rock at least 20 times a game. And guys who catch the ball to the backfield like Kelly and Weber do. Also, you want receivers. You probably want James Washington from Oklahoma State. And Calvin Ridley's probably not going to be your guy because they don't throw, but Christian Kirk also touches the ball on special teams and takes them back to the crib too. So those are kind of guys. Nick Chubb, also another running back out of Georgia. Those are the kind of guys that I think are going to be your top 5 college players you're going to want to draft immediately.
You're
early.
close. You're close.
Okay, so give us the right answer here.
No, it's Jackson, Guice, Barkley.
Yeah, there you go, Barkley.
Is that it?
Mayfield's
Mayfield?
on the list I pulled,
Mason
but
Rudolph.
I don't really like him. Mason Rudolph,
Well,
I
that's
do
he's
like.
throwing to the guy I just told you. I think Mason
Best
Rudolph's
wide
gonna get his
receiver.
points.
Best wide receiver, Pettis, I think.
Actually, out of Washington,
I
yeah.
liked him.
He's
I think
good.
Washington's going to stay up there.
Yeah.
I like Washington to
They will.
actually surprise people again.
Yeah, but what I said is legit. What are you reading off of?
Oh, this is my list to put together.
Oh, I thought you said like you're
I
close.
I found. Oh yeah, I was just being a dick.
He's got Quinten Flowers. They're bolded in one name on the
Oh
side.
no, I took him
You
out.
love it. Oh, you took him out.
He has a little.
I have to adjust for schedules.
He has a little heart strand around it too. You see that? Hearts
he
and
does.
it says Quinten
Put
Flowers.
an Instagram heart around it.
I love it.
Double tap that.
Love some Quinten Flowers.
Yep.
All right. So, do you have anything more to?
No, I mean that's how you do it. If you need better ways to do better rules on it, just hit me up. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook page, any of that stuff. Triple Option Podcast at gmail.com, but that's way too long. No one will do that.
True.
Go to 3xopod.com. You can hit us up through
Twitter handle. Let's go ahead and plug that real quick.
3xopod.com.
3xopod.com.
Yeah, and you can find all our individual accounts through the profile on on that Twitter account. What else we got?
So you want to start previewing
let's
next
do
week's
it.
game, and,
Yeah,
and
man.
as we did last year, we're going to go ahead and do the
picks,
the
baby.
big three, and the first two are pretty obvious.
This is a
in the big three.
curtailed kind of episode. We're knocking the rust off, just like all these teams are doing.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I'm in mid-season form, man.
Oh, me
Yeah.
too, man. I
Oh,
feel
you guys
great.
are
I've been
mid-season form?
I've been dropping that
Okay.
knowledge all.
Winning.
Dope.
That's good. My goal is to annoy you guys at this
No,
thing
no.
at some point.
Not annoyed
I'm
at
going
all.
to get you a mixing board, man.
Yeah, I just like the conspiracy theories.
All right, so let's go.
So okay, let's start with the first one. Alabama FSU, obviously probably the biggest opening game in college football history. I can't think of
Allegedly.
another one. Allegedly. But I mean, my quick breakdown on this. Obviously, DeAndre Francois and SEC Player of the Year Jalen Hurts, even though he can't throw, have their second year. No more Dalvin Cook for FSU. I think, obviously, I mean, Alabama's defense is the best in the nation, 5-star after 5-star after 5. They lost like 5 guys in the draft last year.
And their
But they were-
coordinators.
and their offensive coordinator too. But your boy Cuddy Sarkeesian no
Cuddy
longer
Stark.
there. But anyway, it's their defense. I think if FSU is going to have a chance, it's going to be FSU's going to have to. I mean, I don't know. Like Bo Scarborough's going to run over them. They're going to have to slow it down. FSU's going to have to put them into a bunch of 3rd and longs. So I obviously I think Alabama takes this. That's just not me being a Gator and a FSU hater, but obviously I think Alabama takes it. What do you guys think?
Are we going by the lines, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, as
So-
of Sunday morning, the week before, this is going to be a little tougher now because it's like the line is going to change. For
Right.
a lot
Sorry,
of,
we're doing
a
a
lot of
picks
stuff.
too. So Alabama's favored by 7 is what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm thinking with. I think Jimbo Fisher mentally might have lost his fastball a little bit. I don't know why.
Wow.
I get that feeling.
Well, not in recruiting.
Yeah, I was gonna say their secondary is one of the best in the nation. They got Tavares Jackson. They got 2 safeties back there that are going to be first-round picks in the NFL.
No doubt. It's not a talent issue and it's not as a recruiting issue. I just think I think maybe some personal stuff to him. I don't know.
Getting divorced.
Ooh, hold on.
He's
Do
getting
you have
divorced.
some sources deep in the Kremlin?
Can't say anything
Talk
on
about
air
Beth.
about it. I'm not saying. Shout out to Beth,
Shout.
our old co-host.
Come
but
on the show. Derwin James at our safety house.
Derwin James, yeah, he was injured last year, but this year he's gonna be a monster.
I don't know. I just feel mentally he might not be as he was the national championship year for them. And Alabama, I feel like is reloaded defense always every year. It's
Yep.
fucking annoying.
Yep, every 5-star recruit.
By the spread, seven's a big one, but I could see that being like a pretty limp in, win it by 10 kind of game. Keep it pretty tight. So I'm going to take Alabama.
Okay, Steve, who you got? What's your take?
Me, I'm going to take Alabama. Easy enough, simply because
Don't touch my computer.
they're the best team, and they have a lot of their talents returning on offense, which is all you're going to need to beat Florida State because they're just a defensive-driven team. I mean, Francois is good, but,
He's French.
it's not that. It's just Alabama just
You're
reloads
French
every
Canadian, I
year.
forgot.
That's true too. I'm not French though, Italian Canadian. But look at the end of the day, it's just going to be it's going to be a game of wills and who's going to impose their will more. And I think that the offense of Alabama cannot be stopped. Bo Scarborough will carry the ball 30 times a game. Absolutely. Just the way they played. I mean, I know they lost the game against Clemson in the national championship last year. It's not like they were out of the game or had no chance of winning it. And Bo Scarborough ran crazy wild on Clemson.
And
who
Hurts.
had-
Hurts was
and Hurts. Dual threat
underrated,
quarterback.
I feel.
Absolutely. But listen to
He
this, though.
completed 41% of his passes in the national
That's
championship
okay.
game.
I'd probably complete the same. But here's the thing. The problem is that when you have that many top recruits and you reload every year, it's going to be hard to beat somebody when they just impose your will at the end of the game. It's going to be close early, but as the game grinds on, I just think Alabama comes through. I think they have a little bit more experience in that. Doing
Embarrassment
Yeah.
of riches.
I think
kinda?
they
They're
win.
going to be fine. I think they win. And listen to this. Not only do I think they win by 17.
Who? Alabama?
Yep, I
Okay.
do.
All right. It's on the record.
17. I picked 10. What do you got?
Oh, we're picking the actual amount where they're going to win
Well,
by?
you don't have to.
No,
but
I mean, I'd probably say 10 as well.
for funsies?
Yeah, I'd probably say 10 as well,
All right.
actually. But I was say if FSU's going to win, I think it's going to need to be a low-scoring game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that in the
because-
new stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Is that open?
Yeah. It's the
Georgia?
very first game in that stadium. Yep, the retractable roof. It looks like Megatron's
what-
butthole.
You mean the Falcons?
the
How
fall.
you know what Megatron's butthole looks like?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Did you see Transformers?
No, Yeah, I have. No,
There's a nude scene that
I
they took out.
think the Vols are playing Georgia Tech before they play.
No, I'm
at the same
I
stadium.
think you're wrong. My
Yeah,
friend.
but a game that people care about.
Whoa.
No, I think this is
Why would no one
first-
care about ranked teams playing?
This
on
is
the first week?
this is the 8 p.m.
messed
Chick-fil-A kickoff game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
Yeah, that Atlanta stadium is going to hold like 5 of the 10 biggest games this year because they're going to have the SC Championship game. I think they have like another neutral site game. They're going to have a ton.
What's the date of that
big
game?
games.
I got Tennessee playing at the Chick-fil-A Mercedes-Benz Atlanta Stadium, 8 o'clock, prime time, against Georgia Tech, 8 o'clock on Monday, September 4th.
Oh, is this Thursday? No, Saturday.
No,
Saturday.
yeah,
the
Saturday.
2nd.
This Saturday is
Yeah.
the FSU.
Okay,
Alabama
so
game.
they will play before 10. I just knew Tennessee
Right.
was playing there because I was supposed to go to that game, but I'll be in Mexico, so now I
Right.
can't go.
Yeah,
but
way
I
to
just wanna
confuse
make sure.
everybody.
Yeah.
Whatever, at least I know the schedule.
So shout out to my buddy Bert who helped do the construction on that.
And
What-
Julio
what-
Jones.
Yeah, and Julio Jones.
All right, so we can. Anyone have anything else on that one?
No, I'm
Anybody got an early upset pick? I'm curious of these top ranked
Well,
teams
let's
that
go
are looking
through
to
those
down.
big 3 he's got, and
Yeah.
then we'll get
Fair enough.
we'll give you your girth on that.
Yeah, and Law's right. I maybe I'm not in midseason form because I didn't give that that spread as I normally do when I talk about the game. So this
you are
time I
not gonna
will.
rust off.
So
Spread's
now
whack.
next one, number 11 Michigan versus my number 17 Florida Gators at Jerry's World. Michigan is favored by 4. I could probably take up this whole podcast on what I think about this game, but but briefly, obviously we talked about it. Callaway, 6 other players are suspended. Actually, 7 now with James Robinson suspended.
Probably 10 by game time.
Yeah.
But the other big story of Florida is they haven't chosen a QB. Obviously, they have Malik Zaire, their Notre Dame transfer. They got Del Rio from last year, who actually is pretty underrated. Like he's small, he has a good arm, but compared to Felipe Franks, who is their 4-star
redshirt freshman from
the redshirt freshman who he stole from LSU last year, total stud of a quarterback, a huge arm. But compared to him, you got Del Rio's got a kind of a weakish arm, but he did well last year. He went 5-0 before he hurt himself. Did terrible in the Arkansas game. So right now, the last thing that McElwain said was he expects all 3 will play. He didn't say when. He didn't say all 3 will play the Michigan game. So it's going to be one of those old school Spurrier.
He called Spurrier. What do I do? Just play everybody.
Play everybody.
at the position.
So it might be a 3-headed monster at quarterback for the first game. It's going to be a mess.
That's spaghetti quarterback carousel. Just throw them all out there and see which one sticks.
So we're missing 10% of our team. It's going to be 3 quarterbacks. It's going to be it's going to be an entertaining game. The only saving grace in this game, the only reason why I think Florida has a chance is Michigan is first in the NCAA for. Well, I guess you would say last in the NCAA for how many starters they returned. They only returned 5 starters from last year, so they are replacing everyone. I mean, given they're kind of like Alabama, they reload. They have tons of talent there. They have a top 10 recruiting class every week. But yeah, so that's maybe a lot of and also their quarterback's not great. I think Wilton Spate is going to be the starter, so they don't love their quarterback.
But he knows the offense. He's coming back into the same kind of game plan.
And our last thing I'll say is our defense is still going to be great. We'll continue the top 10 string of top 10 defenses that we've had for the past decade or so. Reloading with linebacker, we had 2 a first rounder and a third rounder that got drafted. Alex Anzalone and Jared Davis. We have 2 great guys coming to replace them. And also defensive backs. So we're going to try to lay claim to the DBU title once again. With,
You're right. You
Chauncey,
could go a whole podcast.
Chauncey Gardner, Duke Dawson,
Filibuster.
Nick Washington. Hey, I'm still talking.
I have the floor.
Yeah. Okay. No, I promise I'm done. So that's my take. So anyway,
So who you got? What's the
I
score?
got Florida.
Of course you do.
Of course I got Florida, man. I'm a Gator.
You never play
I
against
got
them.
Florida, and I think it is going to be 28-21.
All right.
I'm going. I think Michigan's going to play sloppy as well, but I've got them winning by about 5. It's a 3.5
spread.
Yeah.
I'll keep mine briefer than Chad's. I'll tell you this. I think Michigan wins. I would have picked Florida, actually, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for the suspensions. And I think, Michigan's lost a lot of key players on defense, a couple first-rounders. 1-on-1 was out of the secondary.
Jabril Peppers, that was our boy last year. We
2
all
out of
loved
the
Jabril
secondary.
Peppers,
And one of their corners went in the top 20 picks. So they lost 2 players out of the
miss them.
secondary. I don't even know what Pepper's position really was there. But I know
everything.
this.
He played
Yeah,
every
exactly.
position.
But
Doesn't come off the field, man.
to get to the point, because those suspensions, I'm taking Michigan in this game. all Michigan really has to do is load the box. When Florida's not going to have their best offensive player in Antonio Callaway out there, that's their biggest playmaker. When he's gone, you don't have to worry about double teaming him and leaving somebody else vulnerable and open. That's it. I see Michigan with their good linebackers stacking the box, beating Florida, trying to make them beat them through the air, which they won't be able to do because they don't know which quarterback knows the offense through the air better anyway. And I just think Michigan wins this game, but not big. I think Michigan wins this game by a field goal.
All right.
All right.
So the third one, there was kind of some discussion on what the third game should be. It wasn't so obvious. So we chose Texas A&M at UCLA. UCLA favored by 3.5 is what I have as my last
I loved
spread.
this game last year. It was the first real look at Josh Rosen.
Yeah, why don't you kick off this one? Since I filibustered in the last one.
No, you did fine. This is
Fine.
I said everything there was to say about that
Correct me if
game.
I'm wrong. They're playing in Pasadena this year.
We gotta hate.
Yes, they
last
are.
year
Yeah,
they're at Texas A&M, and that game went down to
At
the
UCLA.
wire. And I think this year's game will too. I'm taking UCLA to win this game by a touchdown.
What's the line on this?
I don't know.
3.5 is what I.
It's
is
not
what
very
I have.
big, but I got them winning by a touchdown.
UCLA favored by 3.5.
Yeah.
You go ahead, Chad.
All right. So my thoughts on this one. Both teams faded towards the end of last season. As Steve pointed out, and we might talk about later, Kevin Sumlin is a little bit on the hot seat.
It's hot.
Yeah. So every year he does this, he starts out hot, 6-0, 5-0 in the top 10, and then all of a sudden, it's kind of expected.
That SEC schedule.
He's
hits
in
you.
the SEC West. He's in the SEC West.
But in his
That's the Sunday
defense, and I know Chad will actually agree to this. He can't get a quarterback. He recruited some really good quarterbacks, and they just can't stick.
Yeah.
No, he's stuck, and he won the Heisman and made their program big. He's got Kyle Allen, a whole bunch of other good quarterbacks that just haven't stayed. They've all transferred out.
Yeah.
So that's been his really big problem, is not being able to have a standing quarterback to stay there 3-4 years. He's trying to find his next Manziel, and he's just not getting it. And that's what hurts their offense from developing. That's why they can't get to the next level.
I would even argue that Manziel maybe owed all of his success to Mike Evans. I mean, he'd throw those. You guys watch Hard Knocks, I'm sure. And Rex Ryan hit the nail on the head.
Jameis Winston tried to do it. He
Yeah,
tried to throw a moon ball and got intercepted.
Well,
You can say Jameis owes all his
But in
credit.
general, those
are you
in
doing?
college, those 50-50 balls were more like 95-5 balls to Mike Evans because Mike
Right.
Evans is such a monster. So I think he had a lot to do with Manziel's success. But anyway, to go back to the game,
Kenny Trill Hill, he left.
He did.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's at like SMU or something now. I can't
TCU.
remember. TCU.
he was balling out last year.
So UCLA
Kyle
has
Allen's at
the
Houston.
former number 1 overall QB recruit in Josh Rosen, back from an injury from last year. And,
Hot tub Rose.
But Texas A&M has that experienced, aggressive defensive line, returning a lot of experience, 3 seniors and a junior. And they got a great running game, horrible, as you said, Steve, horrible passing game. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to also take – did you take UCLA?
I took UCLA by a touchdown. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna also take UCLA. I'm gonna say by 10 points.
Yeah, I just think this is Josh Rosen's breakout year. He's not going to come back for his senior year. I think he's going to be in the top 5 players taken in the NFL draft next year. I think you're going to see a very improved Josh Rosen. Focused, takes a lot of chances, and I think this year he doesn't do that. I think he's a lot more consistent.
I mean,
who you got?
Look, I want Texas A&M to win.
Yeah. Oh, I feel that way too.
I
I want them, but they won't.
It's in Pasadena, which, if you all have been out there, it doesn't really matter. It's so far from UCLA's campus. It's like a fucking joke. But it's literally like 45 minutes, an hour away. It's the Sunday game, which I always forget about, the Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Which is like, all right, you had your fill on a Saturday of too much college football. It's like,
No such thing.
well, I mean, you want to watch more. Like, you wanted to watch all the games, but you can't. It's hard to do simultaneously unless you're Fantetti, who can somehow do 3 things at once.
Multitask.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, why not throw a couple games underneath the undercards on Sunday for this? So I don't know. Anyway,
who do you got?
I'm gonna take Texas A&M with the points, but
All right.
UCLA will probably win.
Okay, so you
win,
think that
UCLA?
they win by less than 3.5?
But in our pick'em,
Yeah.
I'm doing with the points. I'm taking Texas A&M.
I just pick winners. I don't do anything.
Okay,
yeah,
of course.
yeah.
So, Law, you got
You're
Alabama,
scared-
Michigan,
you're
and
scared
Texas
to bet.
A&M. Steve's got Alabama, Michigan, UCLA, and I got Alabama,
You're
Florida.
taking A&M.
UCLA.
With the points.
Yeah.
Good. Oh,
Yeah,
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 with the point.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because we talk about – no, do you have any more? on that before I get into this next? Okay,
we're doing big 3 this year, and then
which we did last year. I like
that.
that.
we did towards the second half, but this year we're gonna do it all year.
Maybe we should find like a pick'em, like Yahoo League or something, and just have that.
Oh yeah, we can play with the listeners too.
Yeah.
And I know, and I don't want to get too deep in this. I know we're actually running out of time.
Yeah,
what I want to make sure we do talk about though,
right about to close
real fast, is about the coaching, because I do think it's going to be an issue early in the season. I think there's coaches on the hot seat. I think Butch Jones, unfortunately, at Tennessee is on the hot seat. I think Kevin Sumlin is. I think Kevin Sumlin's a great coach. He's one of the people I'll start a program with. I like him that much as a coach, but unfortunately, just not getting it done the way they probably want him to. I think one of those 2 coaches goes first. It would have been Hugh Freeze but for the circumstances. But I do think that one of them, watch out by week 6. If they're not at least 4-2, 5-1, one of those guys goes.
Yeah.
Early prediction on that.
Yeah, I mean, Butch Jones, obviously great recruiter, champion of life. His whole team's a champion of life, but
beat Florida last year. Boom.
Oh yeah, that's
this
one.
Year?
That's 1 out of 12. One of the last 12. Good job. Well
now
done.
we're gonna start over again.
That's cute. That's cute. That you have 1 in a row. That's cute.
It'll be
that's
2 in a row this year.
It's an adorable little streak. But anyway, yeah, he's 4.
Start players right to jail.
4-4. The big thing with Butch Jones, 4-4 in conference play. You can't do that in the SEC. Lost to Will Muschamp, South Carolina Gamecocks. I mean, lost to Vanderbilt, so you can't do that in the SEC. And the only other coach I would mention there is Brian Kelly. He's got to be on the hot seat, right? Come on,
that's a good one. See,
I mean, 4-8 last season. Been there since 2010. He's at Notre Dame. Huge expectations there.
Gonna have a heart attack on the field at some point. Probably.
He'll have to replace Deshaun Kaiser.
More than Orgeron. Kaiser's looking good in the league right now.
Yeah, he is.
I've never seen someone get redder than Brian Kelly. Like he turns into a fucking red balloon.
You don't remember Muschamp then, because Muschamp used to get
but he doesn't. But he doesn't like
when he's mad.
He doesn't get the flush like that.
Yeah,
like, he just yells and punches dry boards. Like my favorite is
see all these people all disappointed out here. Right? I love Muschamp. No, he's the best, man. I just want to have like a beer with him for like an hour.
And my predictions, whatever Phil Steele predicted, is my prediction.
Steele,
so
good boy.
Yeah, shout out to Phil Steele. We love you.
We do.
I got to get your magazine. I can't.
Never read it, but I heard it's legit.
What? Are you serious?
I don't need it, man.
No, it's like, oh my god, it's like someone with Asperger's, like just fucking knows everything about college football.
Thought there's anything wrong with people having Asperger's.
No, my wife thinks I have. I'm on the spectrum. I'm like, I'm saying like it's jam packed with so much info that it's like
it's awesome.
His font point type is like 7, 8, something like that. So you can fit everything in there. But he's the best prognosticator, which is so crazy because he's not talked about at all. Orlando Sentinel writer, and this is like his thing. Like this is what he does, and then he just writes another magazine the next year. It's crazy. Cool. Go out and get his magazine. Cool story. We'll give him a shout out, man. If you don't know Phil Steele, and it's a good porn name.
Great.
You don't know college football, so all
Fair
right,
enough.
we're good.
Hold on, I got one more thing. I got one more thing.
Go ahead.
So I did want to, in case everyone doesn't know, I'm a Florida fan. Steve's a Tennessee fan.
We didn't know.
Law's an Auburn fan. He didn't get to mention Auburn today, but I did want to
Stidham.
I heard there's
not much to mention.
I'm sorry.
What?
Was it?
They break 12.
No, I mean honestly, you got Petway. Petway might be an outside chance at the Heisman.
Could be.
The whole offense runs through him. So
if he doesn't hurt his hammy again,
exactly.
Just pulling up
He
limp.
needs to lose 15, 20 pounds.
But I did want to say, I heard Auburn had a fire in the library this last summer. Did you guys hear about that?
Interesting. Is that like a metaphor? Or something really
no,
happened?
seriously. There's seriously a fire.
He's gonna repeat a meme that's
yes.
going
So
so what? They roll the books.
Well,
they don't go to class.
The real
real hidden message here.
The real tragedy is that 10 of the books weren't colored in yet. On that note,
with the pregnant pause to get to the sound effect.
Pregnant
Yes.
pause. You nailed it, though. You nailed it, everybody.
No, what did Spurrier say? I'm just surprised there's 2 books in the library or something.
I
like that.
basically just copied Spurrier.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Anything else?
I got
Good. That was good. First one. Get ready. I can't wait till these games start. We'll get back and chop them up next time we're on.
All right, subscribe, rate, review, give us that 5-star. You can give us a 1-star, but just be funny when you give a hater review.
Chad doesn't care.
Go on YouTube, subscribe over there. Go on our Facebook page. Go up to the little notifications tab, and every time we post the episode, you'll get that notification. So you can get. It's a little setting on there. It's a little nerd thing. You don't know how to do it? I'll show you how to do it. Go on Twitter, 3xopod.com. Find our individual